5.
Great. Intro. Which is funny because I'm like, oh, it says we just went live. I was posting my Take That Tuesday.
That's our thumbnail.
Hello.
Hi, Nat.
Posting my Take That Tuesday. Morning classes are done. Personal training is finished. Gonna spend some time today learning new exercises. I can torture people.
So we're talking about morning mindset today.
Yes.
And having a morning mindset gets you set up for the day and all that kind of stuff. And I preach it and I talk about it all the time.
Yes.
What are the specific things that I do?
Yes.
So the first thing I do is I wake up in the morning and I tell myself 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for.
Okay.
Before I leave my bed.
What was today?
Today was my family for the unconditional support. My hot husband for being so amazing and building this dream with me.
That's also me.
Number 3 was my team for always killing it and having my back. Number 4 was my clients for being so kick-ass and I love them so much. And number 5 was Dr. Jameson and all of his help getting my health back. And I'm hoping to be back fully training in January.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
Managed through and just on the mend. Which
stayed on the course and did what I'm supposed to do. And
keep going.
It's all coming together. So,
nice.
Woo-woo. But every morning, and then I meditate. So every morning, I put in a 10-minute meditation into our bombshell group, and I do the meditation that I put in there. So, you know, it's always different. Every day is different. And so I just do the meditations to my phone, put it on, do the meditation, get it done, 10 minutes. If I don't have my phone in my room, then I just do 10 minutes of silence and try to like get out of my head and just kind of think about things I'm grateful for and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I come downstairs and I have a planner that I write in every single morning, and I use the Brendan Burchard planner because I really love it. And one of the things that it has on the left-hand side is a morning mindset, and it asks you 10 questions. So the 10 questions, the first one is, one thing you can get excited about today is, and then you answer the question. And then number 2 is, if one word could describe the kind of person you want to be today, then that word is and why you chose it is. So sometimes I just write the word and I don't write why I chose it. Because I'm like super busy and trying to get, you know, stuff done. But yeah, so today, the first question I wrote, I'm excited about my ebook release. And then number 2, I just wrote productive. I just want to be super productive today. And then number 3, someone that needs me on my A game today. And I wrote oystraining as a whole.
The company.
And then a situation that might stress me. And number 4, the situation that might stress me out or trip me up today could be, and I wrote money, because I've been having these like crazy money things where I'm just like, am I doing enough? Am I making enough? And I'm just having like a really bad money mindset for the last like 3 days, and I've been in my head about it. So I've just really am conscious of it. So I wrote it down today. And then the next part of number 4 would be, and the way that my best self would deal with that is, and I'm like, let go of my scarcity money mindset. So I just have to let go of that and just trust that the universe and everything that I'm doing is going to provide for everything that I need, everything that I want. And I always have enough. I'm never in a place of scarcity, so I don't understand why I was having these little thoughts all week.
Abundance.
Yeah. And then number 5, it says someone I could surprise with a note, gift, or sign of appreciation is, and I wrote Nola baking because she loves to bake.
Yes.
And we have these holiday Rice Krispies, and I said I was never going to make them again, but she asked.
They're so good.
They were so good. And when we did make them, she only got one because
what did you
people in our house.
What are you talking
ate
about?
them.
I plead the fifth. What was the next one?
Number 6. one action I could take today to demonstrate excellence or real value is, and I said going into rooms into my bombshell group. So rooms is like a thing on Facebook where it's like a little mini Zoom call. Go into rooms.
It's like a hangout.
Yeah, it's like a little hangout.
Yeah.
So I just go into
it's
the
like
bombshells.
It's like a chat line, but with a video.
Yeah, with a video.
Yeah.
And I was just literally eating my breakfast this morning, and people popped in, and I had breakfast with them, and then I'll maybe go in later on this afternoon when I have some time, and just hang out there and chat with everybody, and sometimes I'm in there by myself and I'm just working, and then someone will pop in, we'll have a little chat, and then go out. Sometimes there's a whole bunch of people in there, and it's just like
that happened yesterday. You forgot that it was on, and we were having a conversation, and someone just popped in, and it's like, oh, hey, how's it going?
I leave it. Yeah, I just like to leave it on, and it's cool that I can.
It's almost like somebody just stopping by the house and just having a quick chat, whatever, like people used to do. And not that they did it here, because we don't have people over ever. Because our living room's a gym.
It's a nice way to connect.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea, yeah.
So I just go into rooms and hang out, and either I'm just working away doing something, or I'm like talking to someone about something that they have an issue with or whatever, or we're just chatting about Christmas or whatever it is. So super fun. And anyone can join who's in the group. So it's amazing.
So I
do it in the squad, though. I did it yesterday in the squad.
Just kidding.
And it's funny.
It's a running joke, because I'm not in that group. So
I have
every time she says it, I mention it.
Not as many as in the squad, but a lot of bombshells. And they'll come in and out and stuff, and they'll talk. I go into the squad that has 250-something people, or 260 people, and no one comes into the room.
Crickets.
There's over 200 people in that room.
Come on, squad, get it together.
And nobody ever goes in there.
Have you announced the squad that you're doing this?
Yes.
All right.
Like it says, join the room, and it's like a whole post and everything. No one. So I don't know. Baffles the mind. Anyways, so number 7.
Maybe they'll watch this and figure out that that's the thing now.
Number 7 is one thing I could do today that is a little bit out of my comfort zone, and is to try to express something, take a big action step towards. And I wrote, film myself doing a workout, because I hate filming myself. So it's something that I want to do more of, because when I do my weekly check-in forms with my people, a lot of them want to see my food, but then a lot of them said that they want to see me work out. So I could, do some swipe workouts or something like that, and just film myself working out. So it's something that's out of my comfort zone, but I really want to do it, because anything that scares me, I want to try. So, and then number 8, if I was a high performance coach looking at my life from a high level, I would tell myself to remember that. And I say this all the time to my people: look at yourself from 10,000 feet. If you can take yourself out of the situation and look at yourself from 10,000 feet, what are you actually going to see? Because when you're in the hornet's nest, you can't really see it. But if you look at yourself outside of it, you can see things a little bit differently. So if I was a high performance coach looking at my life from a high level, I would tell myself to remember that I got this. Like, no matter what, I got this. Yep. So I wrote that down. I'm like, you got this.
Another thing I think about is I try to think of myself from a future perspective, because I used to deal with this all the time when I got stressed at work or whatever. I worked at a call center for years, and that was just a nightmare of a job. And nobody calls a call center to say, hey, you're doing a great job. So most of it was getting screamed and yelled at and all that type of stuff. And before Karens were a thing. But what I would think of is I'm like, okay, well, the worst day that I ever had, I don't even remember that a year ago. Like, none of that, like maybe 1 or 2 scenarios where it was like something that sort of sticks in my head. But in the moment, you think it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. But if you think of a week from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now, or 5 years from now, I'm like, am I even going to remember this moment? And so I try to take a little bit of the levity out of that situation and just be like, no, I've dealt with worse stuff, and there's going to be other stuff, and, this too shall pass.
So number 9 was the big projects I have to keep in mind that I want to take action on, even if I can't act towards them today, are, I wrote a money goal because I'm having money mindset problems. So I'm not going to tell you what the goal is, but I have this big vision for our business, like a huge vision. And I literally...
It scares me. how big the vision of the business is.
But I see it every single day, and because my mindset is so focused on this, I literally see myself like in this situation, making this amount of money, doing these certain things, all that kind of stuff, and it's like it's in like it, I can feel my whole body vibrate when I see myself in the situation, and so. Even though that it's a big project and the steps I need to get to this goal is intense, I believe it so much that I'm going to do this that, yeah, sometimes it's just, you got to just write it down and you got to just be like, okay, I wrote it down. It's there. I got it. I visualized it. I can see it. I'm going to put it away and it's going to happen. Whenever it's ready, it's going to happen. So, and we were just on a Zoom call today with our mentor, and he purchased a gym, and we're so excited for him. Congratulations. And yeah, so he put that in 2013. He visualized it. He
7 years ago, he wrote it in the journal.
And put it away. And
almost
now,
word for word what he did. The universe
said it's time, and he got his gym. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I have the same... I have not a gym. I don't want a gym. But I have a different vision. So number 10. I would know that today I was a great success if at the end of the day I did, said, or felt this way.
Ooh, cool.
So I did 3 things. I would feel a great success if I learned something, if I implemented something, and I was consistent. And that all leads back to my product being productive. So all of these things kind of go into, and then at the very top it says today's message to myself, and it says, I wrote down, get shit done, be consistent. So yeah, and I write this every single morning. I write in this journal, and I really love this planner. Like, it's like the first planner that I've actually stuck to.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Don't have any affiliation with Brendan Broussard. Just
a great planner.
Love the planner. Love his messages. Love his positivity and mindset and stuff like that.
Love to meet him one day.
Yeah, on the bucket list. I would say that. But I do love this planner. It's really gotten me into the habit of writing everything down, and it's gotten me into the habit of like really thinking about my goals and what I want to do each morning, and my mindset has just completely changed. Like, things where I used to be like the sky is falling, it doesn't faze me like that anymore. So it's like, well, this too will happen or it won't. Yeah.
And there's another day.
There's another day.
So, you can't accomplish everything in a day, so it's nice to think of the things that would be satisfying to accomplish, work on those things specifically, and then, you feel a little bit of accomplishment in getting at least those things done.
And I find that when I'm on a higher vibration and I'm at this level, like that I have everything that I want in fruition and I'm visualizing it and all that kind of stuff, the people around me also get up to that higher vibration, and that's what I love to see. Is just like
slowly increasing.
Let's talk about our
No, I hate when you do this.
Our vision board.
I don't want you to surprise. Oh, okay, vision boards. I can do.
So a couple of years ago, I would say 6, 7 years ago?
It's been many vision boards,
So 6, 7 years ago, I started doing vision board, and I started doing it on New Year's Eve every single year. And the first time I did it, Connor was like, "What? What are you doing?"
Didn't get it.
He's like, "You're just gonna cut out pictures and put it on there." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Makes total sense.
And I'm gonna put it on the wall, and every day I'm gonna look at it for 1 year. And he's like, "Okay." And he watched me, and he made fun of me and whatever. And then
I'm a natural skeptic.
Yeah. The next year I did it again, and he watched me, and he was like, he's like, "Did anything come true from your last vision board?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this, and this." He's like, "Oh."
Vision board
And he wasn't so skeptical the next year. That's and then the third year, I got 2 boards, and I said, "If you want, you can put stuff on a vision board."
Just trick me.
So he put 6 pictures?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Just 6 pictures on the board. And then I'm like, "Okay, now you got to visualize it. Visualize that, these things are actually going to happen." And so he visualized it, and he did the whole exercise that I go through. within the year, they came true.
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
Yep.
And then he's like, oh, okay. And then the next year, when we New Year's Eve, we did the board again. He's like, I bought magazines. I got pens. I got stickers. I got.
Yeah,
There's 2 pairs of scissors. I got
can
all the
see
glue.
There's a bunch of stuff I want.
And so, ever since then, we've both been doing them now,
Yep.
and our vision boards are like.
They're getting bigger too.
They're getting bigger, and they're.
Vision wall now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll post a picture of
No, we won't.
the empty space that will be the vision board eventually.
And then, and then we started doing it. And then yesterday, like, I put Post-its around the house of my manifestations and my visions.
God,
And one of them is a money vision.
Yeah.
And so Lucas comes upstairs and he goes, Mommy, can I buy an add-on for my game? And I'm like, okay, but you're going to be my bitch for a week.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
that's the same.
He's like, but you make all this money. It's all over the house in Post-its. And I'm like, oh, no, sweetheart. I visualize making that money.
But we're rich in Post-its.
Yeah, we're rich in Post-its.
Post-it money, we got tons and tons of that.
So I had to explain the process of visualization and all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, okay.
We're rich.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, let me get some of that. Yeah, you've got a job.
Yeah,
right.
So it was pretty funny yesterday. I was kind of snickering, and Connor's like, "What's going on?" So I'm like, close the door, and I'm like, "You're not gonna believe this, Lucas."
Hey, can I have some of that visualization money?
I'm like, "Here's a pack of Post-its."
Write down whatever you want.
Start visualizing your $50 PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cute though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of our morning mindset.
Yep.
The planner is mine.
Yes.
Connor has one. He has not cracked it open yet.
I bought you that planner.
I know, but
Huh?
one day, like the vision board, baby steps.
True.
But everything that we've talked about and stuff is starting to happen, and
True.
so just raising that mindset, getting that mindset, in line with what you envision and what you want.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, again, we talk about there's no magic thing where it's like, things attract or whatever. But you mentioned something the other day where you were talking about, look around the room and look for everything red. And you're like, okay, now what's blue? And it was like, you see the things that you look for. So if in your head you have a mindset or a thing that you're looking for, and then it's not necessarily that those things are going to come to you, but if those things are around you or in the universe, you're more likely to see those things, and then that translates to those opportunities, that translates to all sorts of different things.
And it goes the other way too.
Yeah.
If you're constantly thinking
Negative.
that you're stuck and you're overwhelmed and you're tired and blah, 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 then that's what you're going to find.
You'll find a way to fail.
If it's constant, like, woe is me, well, then woe is you. Like, so,
true.
whereas,
Write that down. You will find a way to fail.
Yeah, you will.
If you put yourself in the situation and you set it up so that you're thinking negatively and whatever, then you'll figure out a way. Even if, it's the hardest thing, you'll figure out a way to fail if that's what you think about going into.
And
So
then the way we flip it
succeed.
is that anytime we fail, we're only failing forward into what we really, really want.
Mhm.
So, like, I've been in business for 9 years. So many things have failed. So many stuff that I thought was going to be like the thing to blow us up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But yeah, like, you got to fail forward. You got to keep going. And I was talking to...
Mobile meal cooking.
I was talking to Natalie this morning and talking about, like, people who are like, yeah, I want to do what you do, blah, blah, blah. But they don't see the 9 years.
Nope.
They don't see the going to people's houses with my wagon, with my weights and my bands, running around. I didn't have a car.
We still have that wagon.
Yeah, we still have that.
Yeah.
But they don't see, like, me sitting crying in a studio wondering how I'm going to pay my bills. And, like, just there's so many things that have happened to get me to where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I never, ever think that I'm I've made it. I've never ever think that I've accomplished everything. I always think, you know, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got to be able to fail forward, and you got to be able to pick yourself up. And
Should have saved that for another life.
well, I learned it from Brian.
That's a good point.
But one thing he said to me that I wrote down, because I write everything down that I love.
Still could be a different life.
I don't know, but
we gotta do these every day. You gotta tell them now.
Okay.
You got 7 people that are like, what are you talking about? Okay.
If you feel overwhelmed, it could mean that you're leveling up in your life.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So you could choose to feel overwhelmed and tired and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's the worst, everything's the worst thing in the world. Or you could feel overwhelmed and think, I'm overwhelmed because I'm leveling up my life. And that's where I choose to be all the time.
Outro.
You can't just say outro.
Mic drop. What are you talking about? What do you say after that? Nothing.
Well, this is really long. So
all right. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Okay.
It could have been 2 lives. What do you mean? I just tried to stop it. And then you pulled
you were
my
just
hand
gonna,
away.
like, whoosh.
I wasn't going to. It would have been hilarious. But now we're still sitting here. So you got to do something to finish this.
All right. I love you all. I hope you have an amazing Take That Tuesday.
Take that Tuesday.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Level up.
Level up.